Why is it that you can be standing in a crowd of 20 people and yet you are the only one performing a frantic, uncoordinated tap dance while everyone else enjoys their lemonade? It feels like a personal vendetta, like you were born with a giant invisible neon sign above your head that says free buffet, open 24 hours. If you have ever felt like a mosquito's favorite flavor of juice box, I have some news for you. You are not imagining it, and you are definitely not crazy. You are simply a victim of your own biological success. In the world of the mosquito, not all humans are created equal. To us, they are annoying, buzzing ninjas. To them, we are walking, talking chemical cocktails. Some of us happen to be mixed exactly like a top-shelf martini, while others smell like a lukewarm glass of tap water. But what exactly is it that makes you the guest of honor at the world's least popular dinner party? First, we have to clear the air about who is actually doing the biting. If you see a mosquito, don't blame the whole family. The males are actually quite chill. They spend their days sipping nectar from flowers and minding their own business. They are basically the gentle gardeners of the insect world. The females, however, have a very different agenda. They don't bite you because they are hungry for a snack. They bite you because they are moms on a mission. They need the proteins and iron in your blood to produce their eggs. So when you get bitten, you aren't just a meal. You are a literal biological donor for the next generation of tiny vampires. The hunt begins long before you even hear that high-pitched ee in your ear. Mosquitoes are equipped with some of the most sophisticated tracking hardware on the planet. Their primary tool is something called a maxillary palp, which is basically a high-tech organ that can detect carbon dioxide from over 100 feet away. Every time you exhale, you are sending out a long-range smoke signal. If you are a big breather, perhaps you are taller or you have a higher metabolic rate, you are putting out more CO2. This makes you much easier to find. This is also why pregnant women often get bitten twice as much as others. They exhale about 21% more CO2 and tend to have a slightly higher body temperature. To a mosquito, a pregnant woman is a massive, warm beacon of opportunity. But CO2 only gets them to the general neighborhood. Once they get within about 30 feet of you, they start looking for more specific clues. This is where things get personal. Mosquitoes have a weirdly specific sense of smell. They are looking for volatiles, chemical compounds that your body naturally leaks through your skin. We are talking about lactic acid, uric acid, and ammonia. If your body produces higher levels of these, you are basically wearing eau de mosquito. Now, let's talk about the one thing you can't change, your blood type. There is a very real hierarchy in the mosquito world. Research has shown that people with type O blood are basically the Wagyu beef of the human race. In controlled studies, mosquitoes landed on people with type O blood nearly twice as often as those with type A. Type B falls somewhere in the middle. Why? We aren't 100% sure, but it seems that type O people secrete certain sugars or chemicals through their skin that tell the mosquito exactly what is inside. It is like having a clear label on a soup can instead of a mystery tin. If you aren't type O, don't celebrate just yet. You might be sabotaging yourself through your lifestyle choices. Do you like working out outdoors? That is a triple threat. When you exercise, you increase your CO2 output, you raise your body temperature, and you produce lactic acid through your sweat. You are effectively screaming, I am hot, I am breathing, and I am seasoned with acid at every mosquito in a 3-block radius. There was the happy hour factor. There was a strange but consistent correlation between drinking beer and getting bitten. One study found that even drinking a single 12-ounce can of beer made volunteers significantly more attractive to mosquitoes. Scientists aren't entirely sure why. It might be that alcohol increases the ethanol content in your sweat or just slightly raises your skin temperature. Either way, if you are holding a cold brew, you might as well be holding a dinner is served somewhere. But let's dive deeper into something you probably haven't thought about. Your skin's microbiome. Your skin is home to trillions of microscopic bacteria. You are essentially a walking zoo. It turns out that mosquitoes are very picky about the variety of your bacteria. People with a large variety of different types of bacteria on their skin are scientifically less attractive to mosquitoes. It's as if the complex mix of smells confuses with more smells. However, if you have a high concentration of just a few specific types of bacteria, you become an irresistible magnet. This is why mosquitoes love ankles and feet. These areas are notorious for having very specific, concentrated bacterial colonies. Your stinky feet are actually a gourmet fragrance in the insect world. Wait, it gets even more visual. While mosquitoes use their noses for long-range tracking, they use their eyes for the final approach. They are very sensitive to contrast. If you are wearing dark colors like black, navy blue, or even bright red, you stand out against the horizon. To a mosquito, a person in a black t-shirt looks like a solid, easy-to-hit target. If you want to blend in, go for light colors like khaki, white, or pastel yellow. You want to look like the sky, not a target. So let's say the mosquito has found you. She has tracked your CO2, smelled your lactic acid, confirmed your type O blood, and spotted your black t-shirt. Now comes the part we all hate, the bite. But it isn't just a simple poke. A mosquito's mouth is one of the most complex pieces of machinery in nature. It is called a proboscis, and it isn't one needle, it is 6. 2 of these needles have tiny teeth to saw through your skin. Another 2 hold the tissue apart so she can get to work. The 5th needle acts like a probe, wiggling around under your skin to find a tasty blood vessel. And the 6th needle, that is the one that actually sucks the blood. But here is the kicker. While she is drinking, she is also pumping her saliva into you. That saliva contains an anticoagulant that keeps your blood flowing smoothly so it doesn't clog her straw. That saliva is the reason you itch. Your immune system sees those foreign proteins and immediately sounds the alarm, releasing histamines to the area. The itch isn't the bite itself, it is your body's over-the-top reaction to the mosquito's spit. Some people are unsensitized and barely react, while others end up with welts the size of quarters. If you are the latter, your body is just being a little too protective. Now, knowing all this, how do we actually fight back? You have probably heard 1,000 hacks. Eat more garlic, take vitamin B12, wear dryer sheets in your pockets. Unfortunately, most of these are total myths. Science hasn't found any evidence that eating garlic or onions changes your attractiveness to mosquitoes, though it might keep your human friends away. If you want real protection, you have to go back to the basics. The gold standard is steel DEET, which has been around since the 1940s. It doesn't actually kill mosquitoes, it just confuses their sensors. It's like putting a jammer on their GPS. If you don't like the smell of DEET, picaridin is a great alternative that is odorless and less greasy. And if you want something natural, oil of lemon eucalyptus is the only plant-based repellent that is actually recommended by health organizations. But here's a pro tip that is much cheaper. Use a fan. Mosquitoes are surprisingly weak flyers. They can only fly at about 1 to 1.5 miles per hour. A simple oscillating fan on your patio creates enough turbulence to make it impossible for them to land. It also helps dissipate your CO2 and skin smells. It is basically an invisible force field that also keeps you cool. At the end of the day, if you are a mosquito magnet, it is actually a bit of a compliment. It means you are biologically vibrant. You are warm, you are breathing well, and you have a unique chemical signature that is literally world class. You are a walking masterpiece of evolution. It just so happens that a 100-million-year-old insect agrees with you. So next time you're at a barbecue and you feel that familiar itch, just remember, you aren't being picked on. You are just genetically delicious. You are the type O, high metabolism, high contrast MVP of the backyard. Just maybe wear a white shirt next time. And maybe put the beer down for a second. Before you go off to buy a giant fan or a gallon of bug spray, I have a question for you. What is the weirdest home remedy you have ever tried to stop the itching? I have heard everything from rubbing a banana peel on it to drawing a cross with your fingernail. Let me know in the comments because I need to know if any of them actually work. If you found this helpful, or if you just feel seen as a fellow mosquito victim, please hit that like button and share this with someone else who is currently scratching their ankles. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another deep dive into the weird world around us. Stay safe, stay itchy free, and I will see you in the next one.